my group with the Adirondack Mountain Club, this is, I think, the 16th year in a row that I've led a hike here early in December. And usually we go down to the beaver pond or the other lean-to and have a campfire at the same time. But because of COVID, we decided probably not the wisest thing to do today. Like, something that's really clear when you go through here and you look at this is that this was like planted, right? Somebody probably clear cut it originally, and then they would have planted all this at once. And I mean, from the look of them, they've got to be at least 50 years old, maybe 100 years.
Yeah, I think all these were planted back in the 60s, I think.
Got it. That would make sense because that's 60 years and pines grow fast.
They just planted the wrong type of tree. So.
Yeah, because when Mike was
Why'd you say that?
he got a job working
What should they have planted?
this summer.
They planted mostly Scots pine, and,
Yeah.
and that Scots pine's no good for lumber.
No.
No.
For
Well,
pulpwood and chips, but
it does make for a beautiful forest when you're skiing.
Can you say this is the best job that you ever had?
Yep.
Yeah, he did.
Yep.
Wow, who wouldn't love being out here every day?
Yeah,
right?
most of my work is outside. I build all the, like the kiosk up there, I built that. And the
That's
lean-tos,
awesome.
Them and,
Well, I gotta say, you have done a lot to enrich my life
okay.
and the lives of others. So thank you for
Well,
all of your work.
Nice to know.
That's
Yeah.
part of my job, you know, keep patrons happy, you know.
Well, and you know, it's a funny place because in the winter, this just comes alive as a ski destination, right?
Yeah.
Just loads of people. There's lots of
Yep.
people like me. I never come here in the summertime. It's not because I don't like the place, but I go other places in the summertime. And in the winter, I come here as much as I possibly can.
I wonder if an otter did that. See the holes out there? And the tracks going to the holes? I wonder if that's an otter that did that. Those aren't beaver tracks there. And the way the pattern of the tracks too, it's not a beaver. I think it's an otter.
So what's your name again? Charlie, I'm Blair. Nice to meet you too. So where do you work?
I work in Norwood.
I suspected we had an otter down here, but
Well, look at this tree. It's got some really interesting clumps in it. Like here, there. I mean, it's not that, for me, I normally would find a tree that might have one like that. It's not too often I see like 3 or 4 all in the one spot. Do you know what those things are called?
I don't know either.
No.
It's called a witch's broom.
Ah, okay, I've heard that.
So the tree naturally grows it?
It's kind of like a cancer or a, not really a cancer, but it's kind of like a natural thing that can happen in a tree. The tree stops growing naturally and just goes nuts at that point. And it ends up producing this, and those are what you'd call a witch's broom.
And I see a lot of those here and there in the park.
Yeah.
Well, 'cause I maintain the trails here. I go around and cut all the dead trees down.
there. Yeah.
So does that mean eventually that tree, eventually that tree is going to die?
No.
No, it's not. It's
I
nothing.
won't kill it.
It doesn't mean the
doesn't-
tree's unhealthy or anything like that.
just
No,
something
it's
that
just
it does.
nature does funny things like that, right? Like
Yeah.
there one spot on the tree it'll grow very furiously, and other spots it doesn't grow at all, right? So that happens a lot on fir type trees. But that's the first time I can recall seeing like 3 or 4 of them right close together.
Yeah.
You can see a lot of the pine trees around here that got damaged during the ice storm. The tops broke off.
Oh.
The tree's still alive, but the branches underneath that, they grow up straight to form a new top.
So yeah, I mean, way back in the beginning, settlers would use things like that or other natural things like that to use for outdoor groups, not necessarily indoor ones.
This is something I built here too.
Oh, you built
is
a bridge?
beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I remember when this first appeared, I was so thankful because
That old one was falling apart.
yeah, and skiing through here was pretty rough. So thank you. That's
I
awesome.
made it wide enough for the gators to get through.
Yeah, no, it's really
So I
good.
try to keep these trails accessible in case somebody gets hurt, you know, so we can get to them.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. And that does make them better for skiing too, because it makes it run between.
This is something new I did this year right here
Ah,
for the groomer.
that's going to make it a lot easier when I try to get up here on my skis. We
What was
also have
it
a,
like before? What was it like
It
before?
was a lot narrower, and
Oh, so you widened it.
it was hard for Ed and Judy Fear to groom the trail.
Oh, okay.
So that's a lot of the work I was doing this summer.
Okay.
and if it's hard for them to groom it,
Yeah.
it's hard for us to ski up it,
Okay.
because then the snow is not evened out, and yeah, that little part there is tricky for beginners especially. So.
There's over on the Pine Trail, I did a lot of work over there, widening the trail out, because that's where St. Lawrence University ski team practice a lot.
Yep.
So I took some big rocks out of the trail and widened it, and
Oh, they practice their hills on that part.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, because their coach will time them when they go around the loop right there. So that's their training ground.
So do they
Right
just
here.
go down Pine and back up the road, sort of things? They do
No,
that?
it just makes a loop.
Oh, that loop. Okay. Most of the time, if I do it, I go down Pine and the road.
They started at the kiosk there and they go down from that.